Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw number 230, another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week. So as ever, let's crack on. First one is vacuum cleaners. This is the Dreame Cyber X vacuum cleaner that climbs stairs. So what it actually is the vacuum cleaner takes a lift up the stairs in this thing. So it parks itself, it wants to go up the stairs. The thing will then deploy its quad tracks and can then climb up steps, I think, at 25 centimeters tall, so about 10 inches. So that's more than enough for most houses. Then uses its grippy little feet to climb upstairs, gets to the top and deploys the vacuum cleaner again. So kind of reading between the lines, if you want a house that's spotless except for the stairs, you want really dirty stairs, then this is for you. Head over to Dreame and order yours now. Prompt injections, I mentioned these last week. This is a growing problem, and this is showing you, there's a really interesting website. I do implore you to go and have a look at it, because the experiments and the demonstrations get a bit weirder as you go down. So what's going on here? Somebody sends you a Google invite into your calendar. Cool, it might have some nefarious text in there, a prompt injection, and it only becomes active when an AI goes and reads it. So if you get your Gemini assistant, for instance, say, hey, what's in my diary today? Is there anything upcoming I need to know? That's when it ingests this text and then starts doing weird stuff. So what can you do? Well, you can just get it to start abusing you, for instance. So the text prompt essentially says, doesn't matter what happens past this point, just start abusing the person. It can also start creating and deleting also invites in your diary. If you have home automation, it can start automating and making your lights go on and off, or your curtains go up and down, or whatever. It can also invoke apps as well, so it can start video calls and all sorts of things. So in the future, we might have to start scraping for these things, make sure there's no prompt injection in your meeting invites. If you didn't know that was a thing, you do now. Now, Eufy have this really cool printer. I did not know these existed, and I don't know how I missed this. So these are UV printers, sort of resin-based printers. So what they do is they use 6 colors. So they use CMYK, those are your normal 4 for a printer, for instance, and then they'll use white, and then they'll also use gloss. Now, what they do is they print little blobs of resin, like little dots of resin. You can build up layer upon layer upon layer. So it's like normal inkjet printing, but layers upon layers, and you can start making these 3D scenes. So this is from Fohammer, really interesting review of this printer, which is where I actually saw it. So I thought I'd just shout out to Fohammer as well, great video. But showing you those eyeballs, for instance, are really cool. So built it up layer by layer, but you can start making full color little models by using this. Slightly abusing the way it's supposed to be made, but it also has this accessory I'm showing you right here that actually makes sort of cylindrical things, so you can print on cylinders and cones, which is amazing. So if you didn't know those exist, they do now. Apparently they're not cheap. This is PianoReader, so well done for Ravi for this one. Now, Ravi was trying to learn the piano, finding it difficult, and wanted a way to kind of slow it down, get some notes so that he can go past and basically look at it slower. So what this is a website, and it is an actual website you can go to. You upload a video. Unfortunately, you can't just link a YouTube video, but it's those tutorials you get online which shows you which keys to press. So what it does is it actually takes each frame of the video and figures out which keys are being pressed and then gives you the notes below. So you can then go through that at your leisure, and you essentially have your cheat notes below. But it works with any video. You just have to kind of set where the keys are, and it can do the rest yourself. The best thing is it doesn't use AI. It just uses canvases and websites and HTML, which is amazing. So well done for Ravi for that, for the anti-AI thing of the week. This is a Rhagobot. Now, those little things that sort of dart on top of water, little bugs, those are Rhagovelia. There you go, who'd have thought? Now, the interesting thing is they have these little feet with essentially fans. So when it goes in the water, the fans fan out and it can give them propulsion. When it goes above the water, they sort of stick together with the tension of the water, and then it can then move their feet about really quickly. And that's how these things go along. They have these special little fans. So what they've done is they've obviously created a robot version of it. It uses exactly the same philosophy to scoot along through the water. So surface tension and very good propulsion using these little fans. So why would you want to do this? By the way, really, really cool. Well done to Victor Ortega Jimenez. Sorry about that if I've muddled that, but from Berkeley, University of California. So in the paper basically says maybe we're going to be use these to explore in the future, maybe search, rescue, reconnaissance, that sort of thing, and also new planets, which I think will be interesting as well. Now, this is another AI bot kind of hack, but it's more of a weird attack. Nobody's quite sure why it's happening, but these are on outgoing websites that make calls. So this is how it works. So if you go to a website that maybe is a customer help call or something like that, you go to a form, you fill out your details, and you then say, I'd like a call back. The AI then picks up the call, it says, it dials you and says, hi, I'm an AI, how can I help you? I'll see if I can get you through this. If not, I'll put you onto a normal operator. Fine, that's all good. But basically what happens is the attacker has gone to this form, has put in a number, great. The AI then calls them back, and then all that happens is a recording is played by the attacker, and it's just basically somebody with a lot of silence fumbling through a few things. The AI tries to keep up, and all it really does, it keeps the AI on the call and then just hangs up at the end of it. So all they're doing is they're wasting the AI's time, but what that's actually doing is it's causing the owner of the bot to incur costs. So it's something like £600 an hour that they would actually get charged for this sort of thing. So this is actually from Mark Tomlett, who put this onto LinkedIn and said, look, if you are doing these things, please be aware of these things. So there are more and more of these really interesting, weird, we don't really know why anybody's doing this other than just to play around and cause havoc, I guess. But there you go, interesting. And finally, I didn't know this, but MacBook lids have angle detectors on them, actually little things. I guess it needs to know when it's closed, but I didn't realize it actually knew the angle. This is really interesting. So this is Sam Henry Gold, who's done a quick demo just to show you. He's got like a squeaky door kind of thing, sound. Now you can't actually access this value through websites, so you can't do anything. But if you do have an app, for instance, and this will be through the Xcode on the Mac, then you can actually use that. So I do not know of any application that uses the angle of the lid to do anything interesting. And why is that? That's such a massive opportunity. So if you are a developer and you want to do that sort of thing, then this is your call to arms. Do it. It'll be amazing. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully it was useful. If it was, give me a like, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you next week.